Yes, so welcome everybody. We have our guest Marcus today. Welcome.
Hello, hi, Koen. Thank you for the invitation. Always
Hmm,
nice
good to see
that
you
you have me.
again. So you're at the moment in Mexico?
Yeah, doing my retreat.
Oh, wonderful. Nice.
And now I'm walking from or traveling from one retreat to another retreat. So it took 1 week off only for me. Uh, so only because it's of you, because I know you to do this
Mm,
podcast. Otherwise, I would say no. I think I need more space for me.
thank
But
you.
it's always nice talking to you.
Yeah,
So.
likewise. I feel very honored that you make time and space for me to give an exception. Mm, Yeah, and in your free week, do you only do then the observation like you mentioned before, or do you have specific plans to do in Mexico or?
Well, actually, I'm playing like a child. So here they are underwater, not underwater, under earth seas. They're below the surface, and you can swim, play, jump into the water, like a child,
Hmm.
uh, playing actually. And
Hmm.
so I go also to the seaside, so swimming in the ocean by the waves. Well, what do you normally do as a child when you have time for yourself and you have the space? Then playing in the sand, get toasted by the sun, everything.
That sounds really wonderful. Yeah, you also said like in your book that it is like we are in an illusion of duality, and it is like with the true self you can just play without interfere with the illusions, or?
Yeah, exactly. You're interfering all the time with the illusion, but in which sense? Normally, with your ego, you think this is real, and then you interact with the illusion to expect something from the illusion,
Hmm.
because you do something to get something. But when you play, then you expect nothing. You only play in the sand, but without holding the sand. You jump in the ocean without saying, I need the ocean every day or I need to swim every day. No, the moment when now it's the moment to play, and then tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow we will see what's the next game or the next playground where I can play.
It's like little children that play spontaneous in the moment, and then they don't worry about tomorrow or the next 10
Exactly.
minutes or
With
so. Just
But that's actually the idea that you have to train yourself not to think, because all your action is always a little bit thinking, to expect something as a result of something. But in this case, you play without expectations. That's
mm,
actually playing. And in the beginning, it's a little bit hard because we are trained to expect something. We are trained to do something and get a result of it. But to be free then means no result. Play. But of course, as an adult, you were trained not to play. Uh, with the education system, it's always to get to a certain goal that you have to reach and all the time. And then first is your grades in school, then you have to have a proper job, then money and so on, then family and so on. They fill you up with nonsense, what you have to do. When you're free, then everything can happen, but not with expectations.
I see. Yeah, you also said that I remember in our retreat, it's like observing everything, doing nothing, being in silence. And for me, I experienced it like it's like a replay of my life and to see where all my programming was coming from and how it shaped me and what triggered me, what kind of emotion. It's like a look back of my whole life, my whole programming in my being that shaped me into who I am now. Is that a bit
Exactly.
correct what you mentioned?
Yeah, exactly what you have to observe as well. I am doing it right now. It means when I am playing, then I observe I'm playing or I'm with my ego trying to play. Because the play has no sense in itself. So in which form I try to play with my ego, done to reach something. Therefore, as I mentioned, you need certain time to get into be a child again because you were so programmed, as I mentioned right now. Every movement, every thought is always with some background where you were programmed. But to free yourself from that, that you have to observe daily that I'm playing. You can be a taxi driver, but you can play a taxi driver, or you can be a taxi driver. There are two different things. So when you're a taxi driver with the sense, oh, I have to earn money, I have to do this, or in the sense of I'm enjoying driving a car, and then when somebody wants a ride, then I give him a ride, and that's it. And the money in between is only then they change. That's it. But when you search for the money, then your attitude to do something is different. And that you can see in most of different stores when you go there, if there's somebody has chosen the job to play or he has chosen it because of money. Then he is, oh, again, I have to go to work again. 90% are unhappy with that. And when you are unhappy, then it's of course causes anxiety, and to calm down anxiety, you need a drug. So there's where actually starts our vicious circle. So you have to everything what you do, you should do it by because you want to do it, but by your heart, not by your brain. And that's different. And when you do it by your heart, then it's also no force in it. It's no it flows. That's actually the flow, that everything is flowing without any uh, enforcement, or I have to force myself to do something. Oh, now it's my obligation, my duty to do it. And in this moment, then everything is lost. When you feel obligation, then there's no game in it.
Yeah, makes sense. It is like expressing your being from your play, from your authenticity. That's a bit then the meaning of life, or
Exactly. That's actually when you can compare it with children, for example. The children have not every child has this program to do something, even in the early stages, 3, 4 years, then they play. Do not think what they play, or they also can find a playmate without asking how is your name, what you're doing, what you're earning, or all the questions are no. I meet someone, let's play, and then they play in the sandbox together without anything. But when you see by older children, then they came the ego again, and then oh, that's my toy. Now, when they are very little, then they share toys, they share space because they only want to have fun.
mm,
By ego mind, the fun stops actually when you say no, this is mine and so on. So actually, we should go back to our childhood to actually live,
play.
because when you captured this is an illusion, so everything else without playing, what you do makes no sense. There's only playing, but not playing by your mind, as I mentioned, not thinking and playing or what I have to place. It's without expectation. That's our thinking. Uh, the sand comes by its own. The ocean comes in the form you open your heart, and everything comes to you. It's very great when you once you have experienced that when you're in the flow, everything comes what actually your heart wants to play, not what your main mind or your ego mind wants to play. And that's actually the perfect state.
Yeah, interesting. Today I was in the forest and I was sitting at water, and there were people and they want to take a picture, and I said to them, I felt playful and I said, oh, I can take a picture, then everyone is included, and they were super happy and they gave me candy for it. And I felt so much joy and playfulness. I felt really grateful, and all the people were also super grateful for me. That's some example like a spontaneous play. I didn't plan it with the ego, but it was like spontaneous. I felt like, oh, I want to play, I want to take a picture, I want to be a photograph for a moment, and then I will take back seats at the water.
Exactly. It's what you play, it doesn't matter. Important is the attitude or your intention to play. If it's the
Mhm.
intention from your heart that yeah, your soul wants to play something. It's the sense of life to play, make experience here, but not with your ego mind experience, what you think, I have to do this or I have to do that. Actually, you as ego person, you do not know what actually your soul wants to do. So therefore, you have to learn to do nothing that spontaneously, by intuition, comes what you actually should play or what your soul wants to play.
Mm, yes. And is it then, how do you see it, Marcus, like the society and the school system and stuff like that? Is it a trap for our being to get involved in the bigger ego and social status and in a higher degree and so, or?
Yeah, of course not, because the ego is actually the jailkeeper for the soul. So
Mm,
your soul do not need a jailkeeper. Your soul wants to be free, and to be free is no force and nothing, because the education system force you to sit, and in some countries even to uniform with a uniform that everything is in one form. That's no freedom. Everybody can see it, but education system is actually to domesticate you to do something what you actually don't want to do. Who wants to sit 6 hours in a chair and watch blackboard or a whiteboard or a board? No one. We want to play. Then you can see when they have a break at school, then the children run, leave the building running because they want to escape. Actually, they want to escape the jail. And when they are out and scream because it's like freedom, freedom again. But we were the same way. It's terrible when you see it from a different perspective that we as adults force our children to do something that we actually don't want to do it. It's something crazy, actually, very
mm,
crazy. But we were also so programmed, no education. You have to learn to read, to write, that you have the proper education, that then you can go to be an engineer or a physician or whatever. Uh, but there's no goal to reach to be somebody. No, play, be free and be happy. There's so many songs to why they always sing be happy, because the most people are not happy.
Yeah, yeah, it reminds me of a song also of a Tibetan Buddhism song, and they also sing like happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries, something to do, something to be, but no longer in a hurry.
Exactly.
Yeah, but is it for other people or other beings benefits that we keep stuck in the ego in the matrix or so, or what is your perspective on that?
I mean, it's actually vice versa. So when we are free, then ooh, I want to be free again. Then you are as an example. Then, but when you are a soldier of the system, then what example? And that's very important for parents. So when you are a slave as a parent, so you think I have to work, I have to contribute for the family and so on. Then actually you are an example as a slave, and then you creating another slave.
Mm,
So that's actually the most important part for to be a parent, because parent is not so easy, because the most people think, no, I have to provide money, I have to provide certain certain comfort, but in the end, no, you have to be happy, because when you are unhappy, then you're a bad example actually, and the children were copying. So you are an example, and so you can contaminate also the environment. So when you are a soldier of the system, then what example you are for others. So it's the mass following everybody. So in the end, everybody is unhappy. So only you, as somebody who captured what's actually happening, and you are happy, then you are an example. And the most people will say, what drug you're using or what grass you're smoking, you're so happy. No, I'm happy by nature. That's actually what's in you. You want to be happy. That you don't need any drug to be happy. And when you get to this stage, that's actually true happiness. But most people try to get to this stage with substances, like smoke, alcohol, or any other drug. But it's only for a certain moment when you are drugged. That means not conscious. In this moment, when you're unconscious by your ego mic and you're thinking you're flowing, but you only what do you say, narcotic. Therefore comes narcotic. That your brain is actually dumped by the drug, and then you feel nothing. And by this feeling nothing, you're thinking you're happy. It's actually nonsense. But the most people are using this very drug. That also people with food is the same thing. It's only stimulation. Then you get stimulated by this stimulation, but you have to ask why I need a stimulation. That's the problem, because I need stimulation because I'm unhappy, and then I try to be happy by stimulations. To mount a roller coaster, for example, that you get excited and you get drugged actually by the adrenaline. As we call it. Most
Adrenaline,
people
yeah.
do sports by running. They in the end they desire the stimulation. But you have to be happy by doing nothing and relaxed. And when I can't be relaxed, or I need to do something, there is the problem. There we actually should observe. I can't be sitting and expecting nothing. That we actually, that's the most difficult part that we always see in the retreat, to do nothing. Because all our doing is always with a goal or with expectation. So it makes no sense. So be actually an example helps us, but a true example. Or you copying others, you copying my system, then you're not an example. You should be yourself. But to be yourself means not your ego yourself, that you mean that you are in your true self.
So that is the most beautiful thing you can share with other people, with the planet, and also with the children that you have then.
Exactly. It's when you, or actually your children, show you to play again. Because most of the time, I could see it here as well, the parent are forcing their children to do something that they don't want to do. Instead of, my children want to play in the sand or in the beach, then I'm going to join them. But instead, you are in front of the screen, touching or whatever, and say, play with your children.
Yeah, and also yeah, I've read in your book that your background was an engineer in the past. Is that where your fascination became from, to observe things, to see things, how things are working, or?
Yeah, in my perspective, yes, because as mine in the former time, when you were trained to be an engineer, you always be trained to observe. You see a problem and then first observe the problem from all perspectives, and then go to a solution. But when, for example, in medicine nowadays, it's impossible, because they say, okay, this is this illness, and this is the answer for it, without observing that illness comes from something different. Or you have a problem or whatever in your life, and instead of distracting yourself, for example, when you have some some issues with your partner. Instead, to talk and to observe what's actually happening. What I'm creating, you try to distract. First, you have a fight, and then everybody is doing a distraction by its own, and then they start to distract themselves instead of observe what is the cause of the problem. Because we always see the effect of everything, but instead of fighting against the effect, you should go to the cause. And to go to the cause is observing. And by my training as an engineer, it's much easier to observe and see the problem in a different way, not as an obstacle,
Yeah.
obstacle. Instead of this, I see it as a game. Let's not something different to play. Instead of fighting against it, I take it and say, okay, let's find what's the cause, because that's for me a game. It's for the most people, it's I want it far away from me, the problem. For me, there's a problem, I take it and then I'm observing it because I want to dissolve it. For me, it's a game to resolve a problem. It's like, for me, fun, actually. For the most people, it's, oh, again, I have problems with my neighbor, or my mom is again calling, or whatever. Instead of, this is actually a situation that I'm creating. And then I'm observing, I created this situation, this is the cause, now, and then it's gone. But when I do not go to the cause, then I will create it a certain circle and repeat and repeat and repeat.
So everything is created from your own consciousness then, Marcus, or?
From my ego consciousness. My true consciousness is of course, is creating something positive, something what my true self wants to play. But most of the time, when you're in your ego mind, then you're creating illness, for example. True consciousness will never ever create illness. So illness is created, or any conflict is created by your ego, because your true self knows the perfect solution for everybody and will never ever create a conflict or illness. It is always created by your ego mind. And when what you create outside, that you should observe, you are the cause, you are the creator, you have a potential. But when you always say, no, the others were doing this and it comes from because of whatever, no, you are the creator. And when you capture it, and when you understood with your full comprehension that you are creator, then you can create, not always with your ego, but with your heart, so much positive things and so much happiness and fun.
Mm. Yeah, nice. So you're the cause, but you're also the solution then for the cause that you created.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the most people look for solution outside. No, the solution is inside. Therefore, in the retreats, we do a lot of science that you should observe yourself. You are the cause. There is that in the illusion, there is no cause. You're creating the illusion. So you are the creator and you are the cause of the problem. When you
So
have a problem.
yeah. So we don't need coaches or gurus or therapists or so in
Oh,
essence.
that's even worse, because when you follow somebody and somebody is telling you something that's their opinion, and then you follow this opinion, and instead of following your heart, your true soul, your true consciousness, your true self knows everything perfectly. Why I should follow somebody? Makes that sense? Makes no absolute. Only ego might follow somebody, because ego mind is so fearful and do not trust themselves. So I have to follow somebody, a wise one, because I'm a nobody, and so on. Now it's terrible how they actually form uh, these type of consciousness in our ego mind. All religions, to get to enlightenment, to find the right savior, and so on. It's terrible, but you should get to the right comprehension that you, everything is in you. Actually, there are a full bibliotheke with books that tell you you are everything is inside you. There's a lot of books that say that you are, but all people search outside. But only by reading a book where you're searching for it. You're searching outside instead of searching inside. So the book always should tell you, watch yourself. You are the problem. You inside you is everything. Outside is only the illusion. So what you can find in delusion? Only delusion. That's it. When you capture, there's only the illusion. So I will start to be more silent, start to observe myself, start to observe or to listen to my inner voice. Everything is there. Everything is there.
Yeah.
So that's actually positive for me. It's so when you discover how to live, I want to be here for almost forever. Because the most people always tell me, "Oh, I don't want to come back here. I'm suffering." You are the cause of the suffering. So observe.
Mm, yeah, interesting. Do you believe or do you have an opinion about immortality that you live without food or drink in just pure happiness or
Yeah, that's of course will be, I guess, in the future, because food still is a certain stimulation. Still, I can see it by myself, a certain memory. So I want to try this taste, but then the taste is actually the memory of it. So there will be the moment that you completely without any desire, without any memory you want to remember. It's actually to leave food is very easy. It's the emotional part. But I can see it also when uh, always the traveling and from one retreat to another retreat. Therefore, I was telling you, I will put now my exit strategy because I can see it's enough. It's enough because I can feel it. I need now. Now I will do a little bit less retreats till next year, but in the after that I want to do my thing to be with myself, and that's actually what I feel. It's not what I to think, but in this stage, when I don't know where I'm going to be, but in this stage, there's a peace with yourself, wherever, in the beach, on a seaside, or in the mountains, I don't know. When you're with yourself, then there's complete no desire that I know already. I experienced it already, but now I'm still traveling it, and I can see, this is now in this country, this is a taste. I'd like to try it, this taste something. There's still some temptations, let's say it this way, but when you're doing in the end something for yourself, and then I will see then I'm much more calm, because I can see that when you travel, then a certain environment still contaminates you. There's still it's not much, but I can see it when you walk through an airport. There's so much emotions you can feel when you are very open, and you can feel it, and it's not very easy that you do not get too contaminated by it. It's very easy. And also, when you listen to or sitting in the airplane, there's so much noise, everybody is talking, and to be in complete calm with yourself, but not in the stage of meditation. Of course, you can do meditation and then you turn off everything outside, but the sense is that you can be wherever you be without that the illusion affects you. That's the point. Because when you do meditation, then it's like to try to turn off the illusion. That's not makes no sense. It's when you can do or go in a room room or close the door. That's the same thing. You have to be in complete calm and peace with yourself. Doesn't matter where you are. If you're on an airplane, on an airport, or wherever in a crowd, or a stadium, whatever, wherever, doesn't matter. This is still a certain training for me to observe. Is there still effect on me? Is this there still causing certain anxiety? But when you're in a certain place where you feel there where I should be, because normally who wants to be on an airplane? Who wants to be on an airplane or in a full city? Who wants to be? Nobody wants to be there. So it's always a certain confrontation. Because it was also 1 month ago. It was for 10 days in the jungle in Peru, where there is no cell phone, nobody, only a small group who think the same like you think. And then you have the riverside that you can take a bath. So the environmental still affects that they can see, and when it affects, we causes certain anxiety, then they can certain desires for a taste. That is a short answer.
Mhm. Yes. Mm, so, yeah, I was also thinking about your book. That was one of the first things you mentioned, like you should listen to yourself, and if you turn that page, okay, you're still here, and I will do my story. That's very funny. Yeah. What do you think, Marcus, about technology, the smartphone, social media? Is that a threat for the individual and the society and the planet, or?
A threat, in my point of view, no. The problem is that most people do not know to use it. You can say it as well. Is alcohol a threat? No, there is alcohol over there. There's no threat. The threat is comes when you have the bad use of, and then you do not know how to use alcohol, and you use it as a stimulation, then you get very easily to be an addict. But now this is the same thing to children. So they get used to the cell phone, to the smartphone, uh, um, and sooner or later they get addicted to be an addict by the smartphone, because so they want to be in the network, to Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, to be connected. But connected to what? And that's actually vice versa. The technology is used to control you. And the most people think, no, I'm controlling myself. And then I see the most people can see when they 1 week without cell phone. Then you can see, okay, I'm relaxed without cell phone. Now, most people are thinking, oh, I have to send a message over here. I have to attend there, or like you are, I want to do another podcast. Always is something in your mind with cell phone. When you know to use it, then it's good. But now for me, this cell phone is not mine. So I actually using it only a certain time from my friends. So I have no cell phone anymore, because I could feel it. I'm so happy without cell phone. 10 days, no phone, nobody's asking me nothing. Oof, what a peace. So why I need technology. When I also, as I mentioned, you have, I guess, read the book of the concept of continuum, or the continuum concept, I can't remember the title, where a woman is making her experience in the jungle with a tribe. And the tribal life is very simple. The tribe needs no cell phone, no television, no technology. To live as human and interact with humans in a group, for what purpose I need a cell phone. And actually, they formed this society, the society of separation. So normally you have your parents, they live over there, they have your brother over there, or wherever, and then you search for communication, and that's yourself. But when you live in a tribe, then you live together. Then once a day or twice a day, you interact, communicate, and that's it. But nowadays, everything is created artificially by separation. And by separation, you need certain technology, but the technology is not a help. And also, most people do not say you are writing a book or you have written a book, but in the end, is there use for to learn, read, and write? When you interact with your soul or with your soul interacts with other souls or other beings, then there is no talking or writing needed. There's because the communication, even by a certain distance, is obsolete. But of course, we were trained to attend the illusion, so we have a different perspective. But when you go back to your inner listen or inner feeling, then communication, like we do with technology right now here, because now you're in Belgium, I'm in Mexico, so it's a certain tool, but the most people have no clue about to use the tool. Because a knife can help you to cut or to slice whatever, but the knife can kill you as well. So you have to know to use it.
Yeah. It can also be like if people get really used or desperately needy of the technology, then things can evolve into a slavery system with only digital currency, or
Yeah, that's the next step. Because when you depend, for example, on money or on food, then there's no liberty. You depend on your drug dealer, your provider, who writes your drug. So freedom is different. And now the system is creating as consumers. That means on consumer slave. So to consume, you were trained to be a consumer, and then to consume something, you have to be a slave because you have to earn money, and then you have to do something what you actually do not want to do, and that creates again inside, and then you consume, then you're in a loop, then you're actually in this vicious circle and trapped in it as a consumer slave. And of course, the system knows that if you consume data by your cell phone or you consume food or you consume whatever, people should ask themselves why I'm consuming, why I'm not playing, or why I have to consume something. And of course, you consume mainly because of the anxiety.
Hmm. Yeah, if I talk with people around this, some people say like, yeah, and children need the house and this and that. You can't live without money. Is that also then indoctrination, a program that's how things supposed to be?
Yeah, as we're talking about it, you as parent, your example. So when you are a slave doing something that you actually don't want to do because you think you have to leave the heritage to your children, then you create a copy from you. Somebody unhappy creates another one unhappy. Let's say it this way. So you should be happy, but happy you can only be when you do something what you really what you where you can open your heart and everything is flowing around and everything is perfect. But this state is actually to be a child, not to be a programmed robot adult, because that the most people do not get and mostly reject when I say you're a robot. Robot, as you mentioned, we were mentioning it in the beginning, is a program that you execute a program that comes from outside. That how to eat, how to dress, how to be what you're right now. Now you are actually a copy from mom and dad. And is that what you really want to be, or you copying them because you're expecting something, most or less love you're expecting? So this dependency from, for example, love, food, or money keeps you as a slave, keeps you in a certain uh, uh, cave, I would say, where you have to do something what you actually don't want to do. So
Mm.
freedom is different. Freedom is expecting nothing. That means you do not search for love anymore, because you were trained as well as it's for the most people a little bit difficult to capture. When you have, as example, your family, it means your mom and dad, they are searching for love, then they train you as well searching for love. So when they are slaves, then they train you to be a slave. Money is so important. And of course, when they are addicts, so they train you to be an addict as well. So to capture that actually everything is comes from outside, and I'm reacting to it, to the illusion by my programs and not by my heart. It's the first step you should comprehend. When you do not comprehend it, then you are trapped. You should completely observe, oh, I'm reacting like a robot, like something programmed. Robot is a program that execute program. It's easy. And you execute the program, for example, food, because you only cell. The whole body is cell. So cell is do not think about food. Who's thinking about food? That's your program. It's very interesting when you get a little bit deeper. Therefore, I got also deep into the how your body actually works, and most people have no clue about it. Even physicians who study, I guess, 10 years medicine, and then in the end, they execute a program where they were programmed to be a physician. So in the end, they have no clue about the body, of the body. This is very, very funny to see. But when I leave to everybody to believe, because now we switch into something that's also very important to understand. It's the belief. I'm believing that I need food. I'm believing I need money. I believe I need the attention from somebody. Uh, it's all my believing. It's what I believe, I manifest it. We go back as a creator. I'm creating what I'm thinking. Then I'm also trapped without knowing that I'm trapped.
So children in essence don't need, for example, a house or stuff like that. They can also be just play and enjoy whatever.
Yeah, of course, that's actually the goal. When you train your children, you need money to have fun, and then of course, then they will execute the same program. But when you leave them alone, and you as boring adult or a consumer slave observe your children, then you can see your children. There is no hunger. When they play, they do not starving, or they're looking for food. They're happy. And only when you say as parent, now it's time to eat, you have to sit on the table, let's eat together and so on. And then everything starts. But in the beginning, there's nothing. It's a baby. A baby is not searching for food. A baby is searching, because a baby is so easy to comprehend everything, because a baby has no ego mind. There's no ego idea. So the baby feels the environment, the environment. So feels mom and dad, and so it's reacting. It's actually reacting by mom and dad. So a baby, when the baby is ill, then the illness is cause of mom and dad. And also, when the reaction when the baby is crying is because there is a tension that the baby do not understand. And mostly you say, oh, the baby is crying. Let's put something in its mouth instead of observe what's happening. oh, we creating actually also the situation of the baby. Why is the baby crying? Because it's very easy to see when the mom is calm, the baby is calm. But when there is a tension, mainly by the mother, with the father, when they have a fight, then also the baby receives this tension and reacts on this tension. So only by observing the baby, then you can see, oh, that's actually what we creating. That's not comes by the baby. It comes from us as parent. And therefore, parenthood is not so easy. But nowadays, everybody is reading something in books instead of observing my baby. A baby is a creation of me, of my thoughts. And then transforming my thoughts to the baby because a baby is normally neutral. And that's very important. And there you can see everything else. But then a baby is following actually your parents, and when the parents are confused, so those two confused ones can only create another confused one. And two egos create another ego. Two addicts create another addict. It's very easy to understand. Therefore, this is actually responsibility. That's the true responsibility to be a parent.
Mm. So the baby, if the baby is born, from essence, it doesn't need food or it doesn't think about food then, or?
Of course not, because the baby, uh, you have to see the mom, because when breastfeeding is only created by, well, the, the woman creates milk, or it creates milk by their thoughts, because there are women that can create uh, milk and others that do not. And then you can, even there are brought birth to a baby, and then you have to ask why. And then everything is by their mind. So what you're creating, what you're thinking you're creating, when you think, I'm a mother, I have to do breastfeeding, then you create automatically the thought in the baby, and the baby thinks, okay, not thinking, it's feeling the thought of the mom and do what, because for a baby, mom and me, there's no difference. The first 6 months, there's no different thought, different from mom. So I'm actually as in the womb, and even when the baby is born, there's still this connection. So therefore, it's terrible for a baby when it's grown in a, what do you say, in an incubator, or it's called. It's terrible because baby feels the separation and it has no idea. It comes the first trauma for the baby or for the future life of the being, the body, the ego now. But therefore, also a baby reacts. Reacts. It's very important to understand. It's not in their nature to eat and drink, because then you can also observe, because a baby has to adapt. For example, everybody is telling, oh, honey is so good, it's a high nutrition on honey or whatever. But when also it's forbidden for babies, honey. So I'm asking myself, makes that sense? So a baby has to adapt to certain substances. And these substances are toxic in the beginning. But when you adapt your body to this toxic, then you feel a reaction. And this reaction you interpret to nutrition, but it's not existing in the beginning. But in nature, let's see, by animals, it's different. But we as human, completely different. We have to adapt to substances. So actually, when the mom is free of to be mom, be a mother, I'm only a companion, then also the baby is created by its own, by the true consciousness, because the true consciousness maintains your body alive. So the true consciousness is still living in the body, and everything is perfect. But of course, when the mind, the ego mind of mother comes into this relation, then everything is getting confused, and then of course the baby has needs, but these needs are created by the thoughts of the mother. not from true consciousness.
Mm. So, for example, if we have mom and dads, they make a baby, but they are free from desire and stuff and conditioning about food and drink, then the baby can just be in perfect state then.
Yeah, actually, also the creation. Now we have still the idea of procreation, sexuality, and something different. But when we observe it till to the beginning, that you actually a manifestation of your true consciousness. That's not mom and dad creating a baby or creating consciousness. So stop, take it easy. The true consciousness manifestates itself in the womb of the woman. And mom and dad creates only the environment, nothing else. And then, of course, the environment forms the baby. That means their thoughts, their ideas, everything forms what's then creating inside.
Mm.
That's the environment. Actually, by experience, it's easy to demonstrate because I guess Bruce Lipton was saying it. The cell itself is nothing. The environment is everything because the information comes from outside. And when we understand in the end that we living on information, then the information, what we get, forms in the end what we are. That's actually a program. But inside we have still consciousness. So we as true consciousness, we can be whatever we want to be, but as true consciousness, not as ego mind.
Mm. So I decided from my true consciousness to come here on this earthly plane to play with duality then.
Yeah, that would be nice. But we are confronted with two unconscious people, and then we were these unconscious people form actually what you are right now. That's the problem. And then they form drama and trauma.
Yeah, it get multiplied because no one resolved the true cause.
Exactly.
But what do you think, Marcus, if the baby is in the mother, there is a line from the mother to the baby that provides food, or is that also an illusion? Or
Yeah, for me it's illusion because we have when we think clear. Let's say by the I don't know by the court of yeah, the mom feeds the baby. So what they always say, they feed the baby by the blood. So when it's the same blood, then it should be the same blood, the baby and the mother. But in the end, it's not the same blood. So then what happened? And that's very, and most of the people, DNA is nothing else as a program. It's cells, and inside the cell is a program, and that's information. So by this information, you will be created, or you create actually what by this information. So when mom and dad would be free, actually in the end would be nice. Only the connection between the woman, not mom, woman and the future baby with a true consciousness. Two true consciousnesses can create something pure. So when we have two unconscious persons or people, then you create something unconscious. It's for me, it's clear. But it's not so easy because it's more or less something in the future. Therefore, we need actually women, not men, to clear their minds that they are truly in the true consciousness. They should feel it as well. As I mentioned in the book as well, there's a tribe in Namibia. They still have this type of culture. When a woman feels, I want to give birth, then the woman only waiting below free by the connection to the new being, and that's it. The woman is do not search for a man to create something. No, the first connection is between the two selves, with the two souls. Let's say it this way. But the woman still feels it. It's not a thought, it's a feeling. So this connection is the beginning, the true beginning of everything. And that should be kept this way. But then they mix it with sexuality and with a different lifestyle and everything else, and then everything gets to a mess like we live in right now, or be right now. Somebody we don't want to be, for example.
Hmm. So in essence, only the woman can create a baby. If the soul has the calling and the woman has the desire, then they can form a baby inside, or?
Yeah, actually, you formed or still formed by your true consciousness and the information that yourself get. So we, but when your soul or your true consciousness is in full control, because now there's a half of one controls your ego mind and the other half or even less controls uh, your your true consciousness. So you manifest it actually help naturally by your true soul. That's it calls homeostasis, that your body tries to balancing it, and you as your ego mind creates actually a destruction, the unbalancing. And so when they are in a true consciousness, then everything is possible. Then you, the true consciousness that you are, create whatever you want to be, but in a different way, not in a way that you think, no, it's great, but they're selling you by, for example, the movie our house. It's a different, different creation. But by you as your consciousness, because you come from one cell, from one mother, but this mother cell needs information, and this it grabs the information from the true soul, from your true consciousness, or it grabs the information from the environment. Of course, it grabs from both sides, but most then dominates from outside more than your true consciousness, and then it's the problem starts. For example, as a baby uh, is pure, is 100% pure, but then it reacts on the environment. That means the relation between mom and the new cell, the fetus, that's very important. Because when the mom thinks, no, I'm only a soul companion, I'm only giving space to another soul, nothing else. There's no idea of mom. There's no idea of that's mine, because that's that's my baby. And then automatically you program, and that's the information you give to the fetus or in the beginning to the cell. Then you create what the most people are creating, a copy from themselves, somebody unhappy.
Hmm. Yeah, I was thinking because I also studied technological things in the past, and it feels a bit to me like the term in technology, like reverse engineering, to recap the program and to come back to the source of who you truly are.
Yeah, but now we are this way because we are created by two confused people. And then we are confused, and then we try to, in certain form, not reprogramming, I would say, to delete what's useless. And actually, what you're thinking, everything is useless because your true self has access to an information package that you can't imagine. And therefore, it's also very important not to think.
Was it easy for you, Marcus, your transition as doing a job as an engineer to becoming the observer, or how did it went for you?
No, as I mentioned, it was actually, as an engineer, your observer automatically was for me much easier to start observing because always in my retreats, I can see for most people it's so difficult to observe. When I say observing, what does it mean, observe? Observe means do not expect nothing what you see. When you see, for example, illness, and then what you're searching automatically is a relief instead of observe, and what is the cause? When it was starting, in which environment was done. That's observing without interfering by thoughts of design. Neutral position as somebody in a neutral position. But you can observe a table, or you can think the table is me, and then you interact with a different attitude in a different design instead of observing in a neutral position. That's for me was much easier by the training I got to be an engineer.
Mm. And how was it unfolding? Was it very easy and fast, your transition from becoming an engineer to becoming an observer, to leave your job and your house and everything from the
Yeah,
system?
because once when you are an observer, then you observe also, I'm doing always the same thing. I'm unhappy. Then observe your own state as well, because the most people ignore the state. But when you're a very constant observer, then you observe also not only problems that you get from by works, and you start also to observe yourself. Oh, I'm unhappy. I need vacations. I'm running from one side to another. I want so much money. Why I want love? Why? What's happening with myself? And then you start getting deeper, but not by outside, but only to observe yourself. And that's the most difficult part, because everybody wants a relief, not a solution, a relief. When you have headache, then you do not want to get to the cause, and then everything is resolved. Now, give me a aspirin, and that's it. Most people only want a relief instead of to get to the cause, because if at the cause is to see something that you don't want to see. It's actually easy to resolve or dissolve something that you have created, but the most people don't want. They prefer relief, nothing else.
Mm.
Because they want to continue their life and not change their life. Because the problem is, of course, your lifestyle. Your lifestyle that you live right now created the illness, for example. So there can be a change when I do not change my life. Will never ever be a change. So the most people are lazy to change and prefer relief, prefer a pill or a technique or whatever.
So all these things are not needed if you just become the observer and see things as they are, and you can just go into your being and just see the things, and your like you said, like your problem is also your solution because everything is created from yourself.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's so easy, so easy. But the most people prefer that somebody else uh, uh, take over. That means you go to the physician to the, and give me a medicine, give me a solution of my illness. Instead of take at least one day of fasting, observe, this is the problem. Yeah, perfect. That's it. All medicine is only needed for an emergency. Not everything else, cancer or diabetes. Most people have no clue about diabetes. Diabetes is not because of fasting or no eating, it's because of eating. So when you do a fast, then you can even very easily uh, heal physically talking your body by diabetes. So it's actually so easy to observe a lot of things. But the most, as I mentioned, most people prefer a relief. They do not prefer to get to the cause. They prefer give me something and that's it. Or of course, there's a lot of things that can help. Of course, but helping means also that you help them to dissolve the cause, not only to give them something that they feel relieved, they feel relieved, and then after I'm feeling relieved, oh, there's nothing to change, and I will do the same as before. So that's not helping. Helping means that you help somebody to change their life. That's actually when you are in this rail of helping others, also very important. You only can help others when you do not want to help them. When you
Mhm.
want to help them, then you're still in your ego mind and then you're in your program. So you can only help them when they go actually to the cause. Otherwise, you give them only a relief, and there will be no change.
Yeah, and then you become dependent on the drug or someone else instead of you honoring your own body, your own essence.
Exactly. That's the problem. Normally, you're handing over the power to somebody else, to a pill or to a physician or whatever, or a healer. But you are the core, so you have the power. But the most people do not believe in their powers. No, they believe I'm a pure warm. Uh, I need to wait for my metamorphosis to fly. No, you're already a butterfly. You can fly.
Uh, yeah, and about the Matrix, Marcus, who created the Matrix? Is it human or other beings or?
Actually, we are part of the creation. That's very important also to understand. But not directly, but indirectly. Um, and therefore, we shouldn't fight against the matrix, okay, against the system. The system is creation from us. So about your thoughts, very, very important. So when I'm not in peace with myself, then I'm creating outside more. Because inside I'm fighting with myself, I'm in a conflict and creating actually a copy outside. So when I want to change something, then I should start with myself. But no, the party, this black, white, whatever, should change or government should help me. Or please, the system is created to form you as a slave and form that you are always in a dependency. There is no solution in the illusion. The solution are you. So you should always start with yourself. But we have to understand that we are the creator unconsciously, mainly unconsciously. And when we only start to change ourselves, then we start to change this illusion and start to change the creation over there. Because when we keep effort about money, then we give force to money. Then we give who control the money the power over us. Very easy. So when I do not give too much effort on money and see money comes by its own, it's only a tool. That's it. Perfect. But no, the most people, I want more, I want more, I want to accumulate, I want to be rich and whatever. That's actually the problem. The illusion is not the problem. We are the problem
Mm.
because we are creating something unconsciously. It's the problem because you are now programmed from something, from ideas, and you should free yourself from ideas and then start from inside out to create something different from your true self. And then change in humanity and also in change in the universe will start. But this start is slow because the most people are lazy, the most people are completely robots. They do not questioning nothing, nothing at all. For example, the show from now, yeah, 6 years ago, nobody is questioning. And when then comes the next show, they will say, okay, let's follow the next show. Instead of questioning, what's happening? Why I'm following, when they say jump and I'm jumping, why? Because you are depending on them. So you should start to free yourself and free yourself with these 3 points are very essential. That's money, food, and love. You should not search for love anymore. And you should free yourself from food. That it's very actually what we do in the retreats that you understand that your body is not working. It's not a motor that it needs nutrition or whatever. And of course, money is a tool. And money comes by your true creation. When you have a poorness, or I don't know, it's the idea that I have to what does it say in the Bible? I have to sweat on my forehead to earn my money. When you have this idea, then of course, then you manifested this idea. But when you see and observe that the abundance in the universe and abundance also in nature. A tree gives you enough fruit for you. There's enough fruit in nature. So why we have to force ourselves? Because we force ourselves because we have a certain say, no, I want chocolate, I want this type of chocolate, I want ice cream, I want da, 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 da. Of course, and then it's different. You should free yourself. When it's there, okay, enjoy it. But you do not have to search for it. You have to free yourself for the side that you need money because everything comes by its own. It's to have this potential of creation, not only by illness. Then you can create cancer. Then imagine what you can create by a positive thought, because illness is actually a nocebo. Nocebo means a negative thought, and a placebo means a positive thought. So by changing and observing my negative thoughts, dissolving them, then you create everything positive. When you're creating, or the most people are created by poverty, then you think I'm poor, then I have to do something to get rich. Instead of there's an abundance in everything, and then I'm a part of it, and then everything is okay. Actually, easy.
Hmm.
But it's always complicated when you do it by your ego. When you do it by your true consciousness, then you free yourself not to change the program to another program, then you will be still a robot. You don't have to change a program. You have to relieve the program, then automatically your true self creates the perfect state for you.
Was it easy for you, Marcus, that you lived before in a house, that you had a car to give it up and to be free, or?
Oh, that was the most easiest part because you have to maintain all this stuff. You have to maintain your car. That means maintenance. Car house needs maintenance and costs and costs. And then you're even a more slave. The more stuff you have, the more you carry it with you in your backpack. The heavier it is your life. The less you have, the lighter is your life. So actually, I have nothing. I'm more or less plus minus zero in my pocket, and my package is a small suitcase, and that's it, or small backpack, and that's it. And I enjoy to have a light life.
Do you have a tent, or how do you sleep, or?
No, actually, right now, no, no tent. I have a hammock here now. I'm still in a warm region. I have Uh, when that's actually a very interesting question, because when you're going back, you are created. And when you're in your true consciousness, then your true consciousness creates actually a tent for you, where a tent is needed. That's the point. Because then I experienced often in my life right now, that everything what I need in this moment, not ahead, 2 years ahead. That means now I need a tent. Maybe in the future I can. Maybe I need a tent. No, when the tent is needed, then I create the tent. In which form it comes to the tent. If somebody is lending me or sharing the tent with me, or I have the money to buy it, do not care. Tent will come when I need a tent. That's with everything, not only your attendance, it's with everything, money, whatever you need, you create in the perfect moment. So I'm always balanced in zero. I have to balance zero. And because when you have too much with you, then you have to carry it. And I was also walking freely, then every item is a carriage, is load that you have to carry.
Yes. So do you still have a passport? So how do you pay, for example,
I
an
still have a
airplane?
passport because uh, you're in Belgium right now. You know Brussels, the plans of Brussels, the EU, that in 2027 want to start the digitalization of persons. So when the digital, first they say, okay, it's voluntary, but voluntary always ends in obligation. So it will become, I guess, in 2 years later, then they obligate you to be digitalized. That means that you only can travel with your cell phone. Nowadays, you can see it more or less already is working this way. When you go to cross borders, or everything is handled by the passport. Your QR code is sent, or your ticket is sent by your cell phone, and everything is by cell phone. So that's actually the next step, and it will come very soon. So that's the deadline for me. When they're planning it for next year, but when they force you, say, oh, there's no traveling, or there's nothing without digitalization, you need to have a cell phone. You have to have the face recognition, because the cell phone makes the face recognition, and that's everything. That's the digitalization, and everything is in your cell phone. Your license, driving license, your passport, your ID, your social security number, or whatever you have is in this box. And that's actually the next step. And that's, for me, definitely the red line. That's not what comes with me. But it's the decision of everybody else. And then obviously everything digital means always a digital money, because then you can only buy something with your cell phone. Then you need to have a bank account, and I have no bank account, I have nothing. I have only passport that I need to identify myself, but the passport ends actually in 2028, sorry, 2028. But a half year earlier, I can't travel anymore. That means end November next year. That means a little bit less than 1.5 years. I can still travel, and more or less I booked out till this date. And then I don't know where I will be, but then all traveling is gone. Maybe I will stay in one place, so that people have to come, and they still want something, they have to move.
Mm. Yeah, you mentioned one of your ideas was to live in the jungle with the community. Is that still something?
Yeah, I made the first experience in the 10 days over there. And for me, it's fun. I'm happy with the, what do you say, machete, long knife, the jungle, to cut the trees and all the leaves, and also everything there. For me, it's like playing like a child. For me, it's having fun there. Of course, there's a lot of bugs there, ants, or mosquitoes. But when you're in a movement, then you do something, and you can protect yourself. And it's already also when you're in a certain area, and it's not so complicated. And also, you get adapted to everything. It's easy, because there are people living there. So indigenous people living there, so they do not have a mosquito net or whatever. So it's only because for us as white people, and with different adaptation or custom, so for us it's a little bit difficult, the climate and the environment. But I actually also creating it that I can have fun, or I can fight with mosquitoes, or fighting with the rain or whatever, or I can enjoy it. And that's different. So that's actually was in my mind, but in the end, I will also step back, and my true self will decide where I will be in 1.5 years. Because nowadays you can see the world is changing every day. Every day they came with another headline, another nonsense what they are going to plan. So I don't know.
Yeah. Do you think it is already predictive programming, like some sort of hypnosis that people suddenly fall deeper into that cave, or?
For me, yes. The programming, or the predictive programming, is already happening by movies, by even social media. It means YouTube, and everything is already on the way to program you or to prepare you for a change. Then you could see the 6 years ago by the show that they creating it. Before the show, they had the movies about pandemic situations and so on. So they programming you for certain stages. So when you want to know what's happening in the future, watch Hollywood or watch the movies and see what's they actually planning. Not everything will be in detail a copy, but they're preparing it with you for something. So then also be prepared. And to be prepared means not do not means actually that you have to prepare your with money or build a bunker or whatever. Just plug in cell phone just already. It means that you prepare yourself emotionally, that you empower your true self, because your true self will put you in the best place where you will survive or will be provided what you need, but not with building a bunker or hiding in a cave or whatever. Everything comes when you are trustful and have the complete confidence in your true self.
That's the key to everything, it seems. Yeah, the key to everything is in you.
Exactly. Then stop searching outside. Stop searching, watching YouTube or searching in whatever. Listen to yourself.
Yes. Yeah, you also mentioned in your book about like big landscapes like pharmacy, politics, finances that they are involved with other beings. Is that correct or?
Yeah, we can go into it, but for me, it's everything is much clearer to observe because you can see the system right now. The system is like a pyramid. So we know the slaves, and then there's slave keeper, and then on the top there will be always something more. So the people who controls us need somebody who controls them, and then there's always somebody on the top. But the important part is that we also create the one on the top. It's actually one circle. It's very easy to understand when you see it. Egg and chicken. What was first, the hen or the egg? And without egg, there's no hen, and without hen, there's no egg. So it's a coexistence. So without us, there will be no illusion or no matrix. So we are also a part of this creation. And who is creating it, who is controlling us, is not so important. That means on the top or above us. That's not important. Important is that we, as I mentioned, are part of this creation. So when we are not in peace, then we create war. So we should be in peace. So when I'm in balance, then I create also a matrix balance. It's the part where we have the power. But we give or we hand mostly the power to somebody else. And then when we're handing it over, then the one who controls us will always control us the way he wants us to be, and not what our true self wants to be. Therefore, we should start to empower ourselves. That's actually the big message, because who is controlling us and in which form, what type of entity is controlling us. In the end, it doesn't matter, because you can't change them or can't do something. You can only change something when you change yourself. There's your power. Because the most people thinking about these entities, about the reptilians, about whatever they have, and then you create actually a conflict. You create an enemy. instead of, this is a part of our creation. That means it's my responsibility to change this creation. And that's very difficult for the most people because they are always fighting with the ego mind instead of changing something with your soul, with your true consciousness. Because when I have to, because you can see it as we were talking, they so for them it's difficult to change their own life. They prefer to stuck in the matrix and they prefer to do always the same thing. So when I do the same thing, how can they change? How can change the universe? How can change the matrix? Never ever. So you should start first with yourself. There's the power. Who is controlling me? I do not care. I try to observe in which form I hand over my power to them. That I give them, and that was actually what we mentioned, the red line. When I'm handing over my identity and everything, then they control me even more. And they control what I consume, where I be, what I can do, and I don't want. Actually, nobody wants it, but the most people surely will accept it. They will accept slavery. They even tied or a leash gets caught a little bit shortened, so a little bit more tighten up on your cave, on your what do you say, your chain where you are actually tied on. And that's, as I mentioned, it's money, it's food, and it's love. So there we should work. There is our power. Who is controlling me? I can't change Trump. I can't change the party because the people are following them. When nobody is following, for example, big politicians, there will be no politician. There are politicians because the people are following them. So the problem are not the politicians. The problem is our people who are following them. So we should follow nobody, nobody at all.
Yeah, otherwise you give power to these kind of people, then
Exactly. If there are now people, basically human people or other robots or there are other entities, doesn't matter. Problem is you give them the power because they have no power of you. So therefore, it's actually your ego. Your ego is actually the one who is can be controlled, can be programmed. But your true soul will never ever hand over the power. So therefore, the ego is created as a soul keeper, exactly as a soul keeper that keeps you caved or enslaved in a certain way, because then you think, for example, enslaved in food, in money, so all these thoughts. Look, your soul knows how to create money, how to create whatever the body is needed for, or whatever the body needs. So there is no need to worry or everything. But the ego mind is it's the point where we actually are contributing to the system, that we actually, what do you say, um, helping the system. We are helping the system by being ego mind. Then you're helping the system. When you're in your true self, then you're actually helping to change the solution, change it to a positive way. But of course, by your ego, by YouTube, or by everything is creating this, as I mentioned, this conflict, creating an enemy that you have to fight against and whatever. So in short terms, we have to empower ourselves, our true self, of course.
and that is always like you mentioned, like observing. There's nothing more to
Exactly.
do, in essence. Observing and to just play if you really feel like you want to play, just follow the intuitive from the true being, that's that impulse and
Exactly. There's not much to do.
yeah, that's nice.
And
Yeah.
the rest is fun. The rest is fun to enjoy this illusion because when you see what we have created, when we create the solution, so the illusion is it's fun. It's
That's
nice.
amazing.
All
It's
the flora, the fauna, all this, so beautiful.
it's fun to play, fun to
When
be.
you know to play, then it's very fun. It's a lot of fun.
And that was also a thing that you mentioned with the with when people die and leave the body, then they become into a digital thing and they then want to come back here, or what was that point of view from?
Well, that's transhumanism. That's the future. So digitalized, the first step, digitalized, it means that you depending on the system much tighter. It means money, for example. Everything will be on the cell phone, and that you can't buy nothing without cell phone. And by your idea, your digital ID, identification, that means your cell phone, digital ID. And it's for the most people are not they're not aware about because you can see because now when you go to pay with your cell phone and the cell phone scans you and then say this is this one in the book. So for example, now I'm using a cell phone from my friend. When they not get scanned, they have now access to any bank account, nothing. So only the true person who is owner of the cell phone, that's their relation, gets scanned. Okay, you can pay. And then you have no bank account, nothing, then you can't pay. When you have no cell phone, there's no identification. That's actually the first step, what they're going into. And then it comes the transfer. The next step will be transhumanism. That's the next illness, what they have in mind, I would say. But the first step is digitalization. That means that you can't do nothing without a cell phone. And nowadays, when you observe, when you go to the airport, everything is paid. Even when you take in Lima, I was very surprised when you drive in a small public transportation. That's peanuts. We're talking about cents, or eurocent. The eurocent. So we're talking about eurocent, the money. And they paid with the cell phone. They have the youth nowadays have no money in their pocket. The only wallet that they know is this wallet, the cell phone wallet. But the physical wallet, they have no clue about it. And this is the transformation in what they want to transform us. Dependency 100% of the cell phone. And who controls the cell phone? Controls us. It's very easy. So there's no freedom anymore. And that's actually the last that you have to be aware and to be prepared, because then there is no owning. So that means that you have no property, nothing, because everything is the owner of your house is actually the owner of the cell phone. Yeah, exactly. So when you have nothing, so for me it's easy. I have nothing and I'm happy. That's why I need a house. For example, now I'm in a house. The house comes to you. I do not have to search for it. That means with the answer, I need to build a house, I need to buy a house, or I need to obtain a house to live. Now, when you also live, can live in a hammock, a hammock is happy. When I was in the jungle, I was staying in a tent in the hammock, that's enough. Easy. But when you have desires, then your desires, of course, they tighten you to more money, to buy, to property, and to everything else. So you get free yourself as well from your desires. Because your desires are also a creation from outside. It's not a creation from inside.
Yeah, also from the ego.
Exactly.
Is it easy, Marcus, to be in the jungle of people that are not being there? Is it dangerous, like wild animals or so?
No, actually, when you are guided with your true self, there will be happening nothing at all. So easy. So that most people have fear of the wilderness. For me, I have more fear from the jungle of the concrete jungle. There is much more danger in the concrete jungle than in the true jungle. True
Mm.
jungle is nature, and they live all type of animals freely and happy. So for us, there are people, humans, they are living in circumstances that we can't imagine. They're happy. Hmm. So why I should live in circumstances that makes me unhappy? Makes no sense. Because in a city, you need to work, to get an apartment, to maintain the apartment, and then you need food because it creates anxiety to calm down, etc. Then you're in a trap. Then you're exactly there where the system wants you to be.
Mhm. Very interesting. Yeah, and what is your you also mentioned like in essence we are tribe beings. What is your perspective on an ideal community?
Yeah, actually, that's what we have done right now in the jungle of Peru. Uh, is to live together like humans. That means there's no goal. There's only common goal that we help each other. But it takes time because most of the day we are creating or doing something because we want something. So therefore, I created a space that they can live together to learn to live as human again. It's because it's nature to be human, and a human life is in a tribe, not to live in a city. In a tribe, that means more or less around 80 people. And everybody has its own space, and they're sharing uh, everything together and helping each other without any effort, without saying you have to do it. No, it will be born inside you. It's actually in your nature to to have the best thing for others. It's actually compassion. Actually, you want the best for everybody in the tribe, and then everybody else wants the best for you. And so it's a very nice living together. Uh, true live as a human. It's actually a true life, true living as human.
Is it then like
Um,
yeah, go ahead.
Therefore, it's actually what we have to prepare because now we are not trained yet. We are prepared to work, to earn money. So I created this space. There's no money needed. There's no inside. There's no money needed. There is no food needed. So we create something food. So everything is taken care. Money is taken care, and food is taken care. So you can only work on your relation. That means about your emotion, your traumas, your everything, but still inside that you have to heal. That's the first stage. You have to heal it because otherwise, sooner or later it will explode because when you suppress your trauma and everything, then sooner it comes out by illness or by a certain conflict. So therefore, we live together that you can see, you observe, because we share maybe more or less 3 to 4 hours or even less. Nobody is forced to do something. Everybody does what he wants to do, and the rest is reflecting. You reflect yourself, you feel still safe, you feel something the one has said, and then this and that, and then you observe. That's all what we, or is the idea, all what they should do for the first stage. And then the next stage is actually, in my observation, or should be only liquid because now it's only fruits and only fruits every second day. That's the first stage. And then the next stage is no food, only liquid, and then whatever it will be in the future. That's actually my idea because we should also, as I mentioned, free ourselves from the idea of food and also of money. Because in a tribe, we share, there's not my tool, it's not my machete or my knife. It's a tool of the group, and that's it. And then we share, and that's it. And then it's much easier. Then you also carry nothing with you as individual. You know, everybody has can use everything, but you have no property, no nothing. Your personal items, yeah, but it's but the item you can pack in a backpack and that's it.
Hmm. Yeah, I was in the community this weekend, and they also have a giveaway store, but there was no one at the store. They have just a bag, and they said like, yeah, give a donation if you want, if you feel what you want to give from the art. It was also for me quite new, but also inspiring. Like just have faith and let go of all the control things.
Yeah, of course. And also in the beginning, I made now it's the fourth intention to start it. So I made the experience how it do not work. So there's no guidance because I've seen a lot of eco ideas or communities. There's always the ego conflict. So therefore, it's actually the idea there is no property. There's no fighting against something. And then only you are fighting with yourself. You have to understand when there's a conflict, the conflict is with yourself. It's not with others. It's your conflict with yourself. And when you understand it, then all conflicts, you say, okay, I need 1 day in the hammock on one side, and then you reflect, then you observe. That's the cause. Why I'm fighting with myself. And that's actually the idea, because we have to cure ourselves again from this ego drama and trauma. And in the end, we should be in our true self. But you do not can switch it from one moment to another moment because you are so deeply programmed. Therefore, by this relation in a tribe, then the soft relation, because everybody has a space, but the soft relation you can discover still some friction. This friction you have to observe because you are the cause, as we were talking about, you are the cause of any conflict you have in your life.
So there
But
is
therefore,
no.
you need a space because when you're always working every day or in a community where certain obligation or certain things to do, then you're always distracted. And when you do not understand food is also a main problem of certain conflict, then there's no solution. Therefore, less food. It's actually a mono diet. It means only one type of food, and every second day. So basically, you are not so intoxicated, then you're much clearer in your mind, and everything is flowing by its own. That's actually the idea.
So your requirements in the beginning is like only fruits, then liquids, and then see how it unfolds then.
Then the rest is not my decision. That's actually in you, because I know sooner or later when you dissolve, because the most desire by food is emotion. So when the emotions are mostly gone, then there is no craving for a taste. It's when in a peaceful way of living, you're happy every day. You can uh, play an instrument, you can make music, you can swim in the river. You're free as a child, free, completely free. You're not obligated to work or to do. It comes automatically that you want to share. You help to clean this area, or you help with your physical capability. What you can do, that you can do. When you say, but now I'm tired of, nobody's forcing you. It's you. It's up to you. And that's freedom that you can see and step by step also everything, your vitality comes back, because I can see the most people have problems emotionally, therefore they're so tired.
Okay, and do you have a specific region or country in mind, Marks?
Actually, I wanted to do it everywhere, but it's impossible because there are so few they are willing to change completely. Everybody wants a difference, but I want certain comfort. I want certain region. So therefore, the place we have right now is perfect because it's jungle. It's not much comfort, and also you have to be in a different country and actually resolve all your family business, everything should be done, and then you should or you decide to go in. So therefore, the place we have right now is perfect because it's a filter. It's a filter to select because the most people still want to keep some comfort. I need a bed. I need this. Then, the bed depends. You depending on a bed. So the bed decides your freedom. No, no, no. Yeah. You have to have nothing in all, and what you get, you should be happy. Then you can search for comfort. Okay, I sleep better in a tent than in a hammock. It's your decision. And maybe I need a cushion, but I get a cushion. It's up to you. But of course, the situation they live right now is not so comfortable. It means bugs. But now it's warm, it's heat. So actually, they're running. Then also, you go into the river 3 times a day till you adapt to the climate and so it's not so comfortable, but I see it as a filter that's good because the most people want to be free in their backyard. So probably I still need exit strategy that that I have no clue, not yet, about the situation I'm living in. So I'm living on dependencies. So I should start first to free myself from the idea that I need something. And I need my family. I need money. I need food and everything else. That should the 3 most important parts.
Is there some information on the website or so?
On my website, there's a section of tribal life. What's the idea? And of course, sooner or later we will. Oh, I guess there are already some pictures on the website where you can see how they live and how we actually share living as children, as they play. There's no rule. The only rule is, of course, by food every second day and fruit. That's the only basic rule. Because I could see when we have different type of fruits, and it's much more noise. And when we eat every day and every time when we want to eat, then we eat too much. Then it's even much more emotions get up. And so this is the part that we have to control. The rest, free. And when you are confronted to a fruit, then eat the fruit. But there's nobody saying you shouldn't eat, but not for searching for it. But so we are creating space over there, opening it. Maybe we create some fruit trees, for example, mango tree or avocado bushes or avocado tree, or other type of fruits naturally, and they grow by their own. And then when the fruit come, then we share together in one moment, one fruit, 1 or 2 fruits, the amount we can find, and that's it. It's perfect. It's also very important to share because in the beginning, I could see that the most still eat much faster in company because they are afraid that they do not get enough. So that you also, it's a training. You have to observe yourself because we are so programmed about the food. And when you say every second day, then it's actually, in my point of view, very easy. Because in the end, when you adapt your body to less, to first go to fruits, then it's every second day, then your life is so you're so light, you feel so light, and it's very nice.
So to make things more easy, you only share one particular fruit to avoid conflict or stuff like that then.
Yeah, not only this, also do the same time because when somebody wants to eat in the morning, the other one's in the afternoon, it causes a lot of noise. We adapt to the group. We share together, and that's it. Normally in the afternoon, we share something, and that's it. And when there's nothing, and when they say, "Oh, I don't want nothing," then nobody's forced to eat. So also there's certain playground. But as I mentioned, I could see when we eat different foods, then causes a lot of loss. So mono diet is very helpful, this perspective.
Mm. Okay. That's one thing that was popping up. I don't know if it's gone or not.
Only
Um,
watching the time because now we are talking more or less 2 hours.
Almost 2 hours. Yeah, I think the last thing for me, a last question to you. Um, how do you see, you mentioned one particular place for your tribe now, but you
No,
mentioned,
no, no, that's the place right now because there are only a few people who are willing to change. Now we have, or we're going to be 9 people, but there will be 9 people. So they are willing. So it come from 9 people from different countries. I can't say for one they will. So we start over there maybe in 1 or 2 years, and when they are settled around 40 or 50 people over there, then we can say, okay, we can start something in their own country or whatever will be up. Because always, as we mentioned in the beginning, um, the world is in a lot of changes right now. So I don't know what happened in 1 year or even next month. You do not know what will happen next month. So first, one place that they learn to work together, and then and that's I guess will be always the beginning. There will be always the beginning in Peru because it's the circumstances are difficult. So when the circumstances are difficult, then you can see what you do not accept yet, or where you are still fighting with yourself.
yeah, interesting. Yeah, I was thinking like if you do it on other places in the world, like there's still something like someone owns the land and he needs to have money for that. Mm,
Yeah, of course, because the most people think, let's found a community. There will be always somebody who has to pay the taxes. So it's not so easy. And right now in Peru, it's very easy. Europe will be very difficult. You can see now with the digitalization that they're tightening up the space to be free. So therefore, I can see it's only jungle. Jungle, you get at least 2 or 3 or 4 years ahead of freedom because they're tightening up in Europe. Maybe next year, I would say 1 year. Oof, uh, I don't know if it's still possible to travel because this digitalization will say, okay, at least in 1 year, then you can only travel when you're digitalized. So I will guess at least 2028, you need to have a digitalized
mm,
ID to travel.
it's pretty
But
fast.
of course, that's they step by step, and in Europe, control to have your own space, because it's already controlled. You can see it. Spain. You think, Spain is still big. No. When you're even when it's free space, then it's a park. Then there is a park keeper. Then they control everything. So I could see it. It's difficult in Europe to have your own space, or it's a space that's too dry. There's no water. Maybe very far away, there's no water. Then it's much more difficult. So the jungle is, from my point of view or my experience right now, the perfect place. It's in the actually the river we are right now is actually floating till or joining till to Amazonas to Iquitos. So we are very deep into the jungle. So to go there to the place, you need at least 1 day traveling
Okay.
by
Yeah.
boat, by car, and also by plane. You need at least 1 day.
Okay.
Only from Lima. From Lima, you fly a little bit close to the jungle, and from there you drive 3 hours by car, and then you take a boat 1 hour and a half by boat. So it's not around the corner. Uh, this I would say it helps when you are very far away where the system has no interest in you. Because in Europe, where you can be, and then they include um, that you have to buy food. What are you going to do in wintertime? Uh, There are only a few places, maybe in the south of Spain, or where you can still can find fruits, or but then everything is controlled.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, so it's a bit more difficult to do it in Europe because all of the taxes and the owner wants a lot of money for the property and so to there's
Yeah,
always a thing about money in Europe and in other countries, like you need to pay to earn some space somewhere.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Now in Peru, there is of course it's own as well, but the place where we are right now was abandoned 7 years ago. So the silver was taking over again. So we are cleaning again the area. So there's nobody there. There's no interest in the place. The jungle itself is taking over. So we clean, yeah, we open again the space for us, and that's perfect.
Mm, amazing. Yeah, that was my final question. We are already talking for
Okay,
hours.
then maybe we see us in the jungle.
Yeah, it sounds very interesting. It grabs my attention. Yeah, I will check it on your website
Uh,
and yeah.
yeah, of course. I will do maybe one open week. Means end of September, I guess from 26th of September till 3rd of October will be an open week. So for those who are interested in to see the place, talk to the people, how they live there. Right now will be they will living 4 months. So how is the living there? How is the climate? And of course, you have to travel to Peru. So who is interested in to see how it is? Of course. But the best way would be that you say, okay, I decided to be there. It's only a one-way ticket. It would be the perfect way. But of course, there are certain conditions to be there.
Yeah, I see. Yeah,
Okay,
amazing.
then thank you for the invitation. We
Yeah,
should
thank
wrap it
you.
up after 2 hours to talk. And thank you again. And I hope we see us soon. I don't know where. Belgium is
Possible
not so far.
in Greece maybe
Okay.
in
Greece is great.
September.
And September, that's very soon.
Yeah, it's a
Be in
couple of weeks.
less than 2 months. Will be in Greece. Okay, then we see us in Greece.
Or
Okay,
maybe
guys.
also in Romania of the Festival of Christiana. You're also coming to there?
No, I won't join on the festival because now I'm in Mexico. Early in August, I do two retreats in LA. Then I'll travel directly from US to Greece. I will stay there 1 week to do also my retreat, and then I start again a retreat in Greece.
Mm,
And after Greece comes Spain. So then three retreats in Spain, and then again back to South America. So the agenda is full. I'm busy, but also I take some moments for me to relax because last year was too much.
yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, so otherwise we see us maybe next year on the island again in the UK, little bit later, because this time we were in end of May and it was still cold. So from 8 days, seven with rain. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so it
That's
was a
great.
little odd. But we will see where we are going to meet again. And
Yes.
for everybody out there, the only change you can feel when you change yourself. So start first with yourself, and then we change humanity, then we change the world.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, dear brother Marcus, for your time, for your energy, for your wisdom. Thank you very much. And we will see each other.
I hope so. And then enjoy.
Yes, thank you, you too.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.